Hey guys, GrimClaws here, where I may be grim, but the world doesn't have to be. I may be pessimistic, but change my mind. Welcome back to all of the Claw Club community, the CCC. I love you all. Much love, much support. I hope you checked out my last video about the hell that Johnny Depp lived through and had to go through at the hands of Amber Heard, as I lived a very similar situation. Of course, without the celebrity status or the money, but very similar to what he went through with someone that pretty much knew from the beginning they were going to hoax me and set me up for this fall. And it's 2.5 hours long, and I know it's just me talking. I try to add a little music in. I show you the pictures, the evidence. So I really hope you guys can get something out of that, even if it helps just one person. But please check it out. Also, if you like any of the content that I previously did, it also, my last video explains why I took a break, so you'll understand more about that. I don't have the camera going at the moment because I just encountered this in-game right now and I wanted to capture it before I lost it. So I don't have the camera up, but hopefully you can hear me. And yeah, I just want to go on, and I got on YouTube today, and under the Hearthstone tabs, everything is about game-breaking bugs. Snapdragon, buffing, everything. I believe Mark Mix is putting out a combo with Snapdragon already, just to show how broken it is. The thumbnail has like 96 attack on a hero card. Like, it's insane like that. What was the other one? Zeddy talked about it. It was honestly, I'll be honest, I can't remember what the second one was, but it also was very game-breaking, he stated. So there was 2 cards in this mini set that just... Oh, bioluminescence, that's what it was. For some reason, it is just randomly giving 2 spell power instead of 1, like the card states. So if you get a full board and you're going for Burn Shaman, then there you go. I mean, you don't have to cast both bioluminescences, and if you can, even better. That's 4 spell damage. That's more than the reward from the Mage quest line. So basically right now, if you have a full board, you're getting plus 14 spell damage off of 1 bioluminescence and plus 28 off 2 of them. It's ridiculous. So this is what I just backed into. I've been playing Beast Hunter. I decided today I wanted to climb as far as I could before I start into Diablo Immortal this weekend. And so I figured I'd play each deck that I have tweaked and crafted with the new cards from Throne of the Tides. And I came back to my collection. I just won 3 games in a row with Beast Hunter. You know, sleeper OP, definitely. At least the way I have it set up. I don't know. I haven't shared the deck code or everything. I can open it in just a second, but I want to show you guys this. This is what I open up into. Yesterday also, I couldn't open my standard packs because there was a bug with Remote Golem showing 2 copies. And so they froze opening of the standard packs. And I'm like, Jesus, come on, Blizzard. I'd also like to take note that Blizzard released Diablo Immortal a day early. They actually released it yesterday. So why would a company release a huge content dump for one game where they introduce 17 new mercenaries? And that's one thing I want to talk about. Why are you introducing 17 new mercenaries and 18 if you didn't able to get N'Zoth during his event, and then put up another event for Yasarj? You know, so 17 new mercenaries, possibly 18, all in one patch. You know how much money and how many decks people or packs people have to buy to get all of those? That is ridiculous. This is why people are getting frustrated with your greed. And I know a lot of this started when Activision came into the picture, because Blizzard was not like this back when I was younger. You know, when I was 15 through like 19, I was almost on the precipice of becoming a pro StarCraft player. That's how good I was. I had like a 533 and like 20 something record. Like, I mean, I was good at the game, but you know, didn't have the back then any way to promote myself. You know, esports teams weren't really a thing. I mean, only the very best of the best of the best got into these things. Like, if you remember Boxer from StarCraft back into the day, that guy played Terran and he just wrecked. Anyways, I don't want to get too far off topic, but the point is, you went out, you bought the game for $60, which I felt was fair, and everything was included in the game. Everything you needed to do was included in the game. Well, nowadays, yeah, they'll give you the game for free, but you're on the hook for thousands and thousands of dollars if you want to get some of these things. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. How do you expect me to get... I just got done maxing out, I think, like 90% of my legendaries from playing all last week. And now I got 17 more to acquire, let alone max out and equip and get coins for. Which brings us to the coin situation. Why would you content dump 17 to 18 new mercenaries without fixing the coin system first? It is such a simple fix that you could do it with a hot fix. All you have to do is make the coins not be related to any specific mercenary. Make them non-specific. But if you open a pack, you can do a system like this. You see rare and its coins, well, that could be anywhere from 25 to 50 coins. You see epic, that could be anywhere from 100 to like 175 coins. And you see legendary, and that could be anywhere from like 175 to like 300 coins. You know, like legendary should be at least 2 upgrades, you know, or maybe even 350, because some of the upgrades cost 175 coins. I shouldn't have a fully maxed out mercenary that is just sitting around with 2,000 extra coins that I can't use to upgrade other mercenaries that need it, because they barely have any coins and I'm not getting any out of the packs or from bounties, and I can't use them to craft any of these 17 or 18 mercenaries that they just dump on us all at once. It is ridiculous. And the fact that at the very same time they then released Diablo Immortal at the same time, now you have people dividing their attention trying to cover both or play both, and you're just losing yourself money. So you're being so greedy in both games, but at the same time doing it in the way that's losing yourself money. It's kind of ironic. I mean, Jesus Christ. I just don't even know what to say anymore. Like, this is just getting out of hand. And I checked into Diablo Immortal a little bit. It isn't just pay to win. It isn't just pay to play. I mean, if it was strictly pay to play, that would be amazing. Like, if they put it up on the Google Play or Apple Store for $60, and everything you needed to do the game was in the game, and everyone had a fair chance of getting everything, I would have spent $60 yesterday, and so wouldn't have probably 10 million other people. You know, that could have been billions of dollars for them right off the mark. Instead, they'd rather give it away for free and try to trickle in these billions of dollars through microtransactions, which just make them look like greedy assholes. And one of the things I realize is, not only is it just pay to win, pay to play, it's play to proceed. This is the worst and most egregious monetization system I have ever seen. So there's this thing called Awakening, where you can take your gems. Excuse me, I'm gonna turn down the copyright-free music in the background a little bit. If you're interested, this is called Surrender by Napa Cabbage and Veronica Bravo. However, they have this thing called Awakening, where you can awaken a gem and make it more powerful once it's at a certain level and you've gathered all of the materials. However, one of the materials you need to awaken it is called a Chaos Orb or something to that effect, and it doesn't drop in the game. The only place you can obtain it is in the store. I am not joking you. I am not shitting you. The only place you can obtain one of the materials to awaken one of the parts that they put in the game, one of the elements, gems, to awaken it, you have to buy with real money. It literally does not drop in the game. And it's not like a, not 1% chance. It's like a 0.00% chance. There's a little bit of British and American for you. It just doesn't drop at all. It's not supposed to drop at all. So if you want to awaken any gem and make it more powerful, you literally have to pay. That is pay to proceed. So I've got this gem, I've got all these materials, but I don't have any money. So what am I supposed to do? I'm just supposed to sit around knowing that I grinded for hours to get like this level 10 gem, which might I also add that you can just buy these things right in the store. Like you can buy all the materials that you need to make level 10 gems, where they have like a 0.01% drop rate in game for regular people, and you can add slots to everything. And also keep in mind, this is to awaken one gem for one slot in 6 main pieces of armor. Yes, and then you have your 5 pieces of side stuff. You have, I believe, 2 rings, a trinket, and like an amulet, and one other piece. I can't remember what the 5th one is. Like I said, I just took a quick glance at it, and I was like, holy shit. Because right now I can't afford it. If you watch my last video, you know why. I had to leave my job because I came down, didn't come down, I guess the best word would be I got diagnosed with a hereditary disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, where it breaks down your connective tissues in your body. And I have very limited use of my arms, and just, it's getting bad, so I haven't been able to work, I haven't been able to earn money. I had a bunch of family deaths about 6 months ago, which is why I took the break. Like I said, I explained all that in my last video, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard video. So if you want to go back and watch that, I would really appreciate it. It really dives into some very personal stuff from me, and you get to know me on a more personal level as a content creator and as a person, and what I stand for, what I believe in, and what I had to go through as a man that couldn't speak up because this society, only when it comes to violence, thinks only men can be violent, or can R-word people, or can, all the acronyms, IPV, DA, DV, SV, SA, all that stuff, that only men can do it. And it's been that way my entire life. Like, I've lived with women, and I've seen other friends of mine live with women, that when they get into an argument and they think the relationship's close to being over, and they've lived there long enough, because in Maine, if you live with someone longer than 12 days, you're legally a resident of that place. So you have to formally evict them. You can't just kick them out. So if you have someone over, make sure you keep them less than 11 days if you're not sure that you want them to live there, because after that, they have every right to live there. And I've had people stay over, like friends, girls that ask for help, stay over, and they cross that 12-day mark. And then all of a sudden they call the cops and say, this guy hit me, and then he goes to jail, he gets a felony, and he can no longer go into another country or have a firearm, when some of these people like to hunt. And just based on her word, with no evidence and no marks on her face, she's just like, yeah, he slapped me in the face, and he gets hauled off, he doesn't get to say a thing. The cop just dismisses it. Anyways, that's a little side tangent. Please go back and watch that video. It's 2.5 hours long. I promise you, though, everything I say in there is true. I know it's not the most flashy visual, entertaining, but it's the truth. And I had to do it vertically instead of horizontally because of the nature and the way I had to do it with the pictures and the evidence and stuff. So I apologize about that, but if you guys could go back and watch that, I would really appreciate it. So this is another bug I came across talking about all of that. So now we have a huge content dump, which they're expecting people to pay thousands of dollars for all this stuff in Hearthstone, to get all this stuff. Except in Battlegrounds, of course, that's always free, But notice how they add like one hero to Battlegrounds per patch or so, maybe two, and then they add 17 mercenaries. Because you have to pay to get mercenaries. You don't have to pay to get Battlegrounds heroes. Isn't that funny? And why have they content dumped, at least 10 to 20 mercenaries every single patch without addressing the coin issue or even wanting to talk about it? Ixar does AMAs and he doesn't want to talk about it. He says there's no fair way to fix it. I believe was the only thing he ever mentioned about it. Yeah, there is a fair way to fix it. I just said it at the beginning of this video. Just make them nondescript. Don't make them attached to a minion. Just make the amount vary by rarity of the coin pouch. Turn them into little pouches. Rares contain a certain amount. Epics contain a certain amount. Legendaries contain a certain amount. Start weaving in more portrait because you guys are horrible. And not you, the CCC, but Blizzard is horrible at giving away portraits, after you get the mark. I think I've opened up one diamond portrait, and I believe that came in some promotional thing. But here is just another bug. I just backed in to make a simple change to my deck. I wanted to take out one beast, put in another, and I have this come up. I clicked on the Demon Hunter thing up here and hit the hero selection. This was just overlaid, Obviously, I've fixed it now that I've gone back. Let's just see. Look, every time I go to my collection now. So already there's a new bug. You can't see your damn cards. You go back. Let me see if okay, it goes away when you open up your deck, so that's good. But every time you go there, Jesus Christ. They're so greedy and they take in so much money, yet they put out half-ass content that they don't even play test. And then at the same time, they put out a game that has the most egregious monetization that I've ever seen, where you literally have to pay them money to do an aspect of the game that they themselves put in there. Awakening gems. Why, if you have to buy something off the store to awaken a gems, just take out awakening altogether, or let chaos orbs drop in game and let people grind for them. Is it really that hard? I believe Blizzard would probably be the number one company in earnings, and maybe not in earnings. It would take a few years for them to get there. But I believe if they went back to the old model where they just went on the App Store and put a game up for $60, or whatever that translates to in other countries, that they would become the most successful video game company again in the world, like they once used to be. And I know Activision's had a lot to do with their greed and their half-ass content. Look at Activision with Call of Duty. They basically reskin a game and put it out the next year. They just keep reskinning the same game with a different title, with a little bit of different extra content, and they put it out, and it's just disgusting. I've hated Activision, always have, always will, don't want to play any of their games. Blizzard, though, was my favorite. When they merged with Activision, I almost cried. I'm being a little bit of hyperbolic there, but now they're even making Microsoft looks bad. And I'm not going to get in any Bill Gates drama or anything like that, but Microsoft puts out some pretty good games. And now they're making Microsoft look bad by doing this shit. And I just don't understand it. Anyways, let me make my change real quick. I believe I put in 2 of these coil fan constrictors to try to slow down everything, but I kind of feel like it would be better, let's see, filter, new card, if I could put in, see, if you've cast 3 spells while holding this, deal 5 damage. That's a Naga though, so we don't want that. That would actually be better in my Quest Hunter. I don't know if I have that in there or not. So, yes, I have 2 of them in there. And did I use Shell Shot? I mean, I wanted to try it. Yeah, I put 1 Shell Shot in. I didn't use K9otron though. I did use it, however, in, I believe, Face Hunter. Because I have so many 1-drops. And K9otron is going to be amazing. And then I put in, let's see, the Ancient Krakenbane, K9otron. Oh shit, I thought I put in the Snapdragon. Because there's just Battlecry on both of those. Let's see, Battlecry. Honorable Kill, Battlecry. There's enough Battlecry cards in here where it could really give them. I guess I don't know what to take out to put in. And no, I have not put this Bubbler card in a single deck. I mean, this is the most stupid card that I've ever seen. To deal exactly 1 damage to it, almost every single class can deal exactly 1 damage to it. I mean, it might be troublesome for like 3 classes. And I don't know if that was their intention to purposely try to screw over like 3 classes, but I don't know. What could I take out from Face Hunter? Face Hunter, I don't use that. Beaming Sidekick. I want to keep my 1-drops because Face Hunter, I can probably take out a Wooden Prey and a Quick Shot because I have other ways of dealing damage. Like, I know with Twin Bow, I want a spell to cast twice, and that's Aim Shot. That's why I'm leaving that in there. But Naz is after you cast a spell. So, I mean, I have Barbed Nets, I have Doggy Biscuits, Quick Shots, Aim Shots. Anyways, I'm just going to put the Snapdragons in there. They're just so busted right now, it's not even funny. And then going back to the deck I was using before I finish up this video. I don't know if I want to keep the Coil Fangs in there. I mean, yeah, I kept a Mech Mage from playing his Mecha Shark and going off on 1 turn, which won me a game, so it did help, but I just don't know what I would take out of it. Ozymat since it's a beast, I can get it down to like 4 by using rams and stuff, and it's actually become pretty difficult with other people to deal with because a lot of 1/3s, you know, they don't do anything, but I mean, if you don't take out that first, you know, it's just bam, 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 everything they got's gone. So, revive pets, go with the Twin Bows, so I get 2 pet revivals of my Mountain Lions. Of course, I'm going to keep my big beast. That's a Naga, that's a mech, so I'm not worried about that, and that's nature. But I would like to get both Snapdragons in there. So what could I take out? Let's see, Ice Trap, Freezing, Explosive, Emergency, and Dunbalder. These secrets have come in. Candle Shot, I really haven't actually. Yeah, I really haven't used that as a weapon at all. I don't even think I've drawn it once, so I can take out that, put in a Snapdragon. I hate that I only have 1 copy of Tracking in here. But you gotta make some sacrifices. You can only have 30 cards. I wish at some time in some content update they would move it to 35 cards. I mean, technically you can do that with Prince Malchezaar. You can even bring it to 40 if you do Cthulhu and Prince Malchezaar. I'm sure there's ways to get it even above that. But, excuse me, I was using my vape. I don't want to take out a pet collector because that brings out my Stormpike Battle Rams, actually, summon a beast from your deck that costs 5 or less. That would be very bad if a Coil Fang came out, because now it's just a 5. I mean, the stat line's really not even that bad on Coil Fang. It's a 5/4 for 4. I mean, the problem is if it comes out off Pet Collector, that kind of sucks, because I'd much rather have a Saber. It also might pull out Snapdragon. I might actually have to pull out like a Pet Collector and focus less on, because I actually have been playing most of this stuff out of hand. I think I'm just going to go like that, just to lower the chances. So it's kind of a secret beast hunter. If you kind of want the list, yes, I'm running a lot of just ones, which I know annoys some people. Trust me, it's if I could put duplicates of these cards in, I would. But the basic rundown of this list is just tracking, Dunbalder, emergency, explosive, freezing, ice, quick shot, selective, so you can pick duplicates of your Hydrolon, your Ozymat, your Mountain Bears, anything like that. Yeah, I have a couple, for immediate removal or card draw, extra copies, Harpoon for dredging, revive pets, those are for the twin bows, so I can revive 2 pets, because it'll cast twice. The Snapdragons, just because they're completely broken. That's the whole point of this video, is how they screwed up. They expect us to pay them millions and billions of dollars in revenue each year. But they can't even play test their own game, and they can't even put out a fucking patch that doesn't break the game in multiple ways. And then, they hot fix a couple of them and then say, like, there's nothing they can do about all the rest. Well, fuck, there's nothing you can do about all the rest. Another thing I want to say is, I had to wait until, 6-7 o'clock to get it on mobile. I got it on PC, the patch, right at when they released it at 1, everything was fine. Why can they not just send the patch after playtesting and making sure that they go through the entire game and there's no interactions that are unintended, there's no bugs, there's no game-breaking stuff in it, and once they've playtested it and got all that done, why can't they send it to Google Play and Apple Play Store and all these other stores and just let them approve it and get it up, and then ask the stores to release them at 1 o'clock? That way mobile players can get them at the same time. I mean, there's just so many things they could improve. There's so many bugs right now that it's annoying. And then going into Diablo Immortal and seeing how egregious that monetization system is. And like I was pointing out earlier, if they put Diablo Immortal up on any app store for $60, I bet millions of people would have bought it yesterday. And in the long run, would they make more money off microtransactions? Of course. It depends how the game is. But if it gets so egregious that people just don't want to play it, they're not going to really make any money at all. So why not get $60 up front from millions and millions of people, which equals, hundreds of millions, if not billions, in revenue for you right off the bat, that you can put towards another project or claim as profits, however you want to do it. Pay your employees more so they can put out patches that don't break the game, or hire better people to work on these games, not, or get enough money to become independent of Activision, because they are just like a leech that is ruining you and making you put out cheaper and cheaper games just like they did. You know, that was their model that got them to success. Just reskin a game and put it out the next year. You know, Blizzard back in the 2000s was like, everybody used to complain about how long it took a Blizzard game to come out. But then when it came out, they're like, holy shit, you know, this is the best game I've ever played. And it squashed all the people that did all the bitching. At that time, Blizzard only cared about quality and their customers. Ever since Activision came in, all they care about is money, and they don't care who they piss off in the process. And now they're making Microsoft look bad. I wish Microsoft would split Blizzard and Activision into two different companies and let them compete. Let Activision do their thing, let Blizzard do their thing, and see who makes more money. And then, they own both of them, so why not? Let Blizzard go back to being Blizzard. And if they had put Diablo Immortal up, they would have made so much money yesterday and today and throughout the next couple weeks, as people, are like, wow, $60 for a game, why is that? And then when they open it and read the description, this is an old style, sales tactic. We're charging you $60 because everything you need to do anything in the game is in the game. There are no stores, there are no microtransactions. Everything you need is included. Like when you buy a toy and they include the batteries, like everything's included. You're paying for the game and you get the full game without having to buy stuff from the store. But no, they went the exact opposite way and made the most egregious pay to even play parts of the game. Like, it's not just pay to win. I mean, yes, it's getting the whales and the giga whales in there that are just buying themselves up to, the best in slot everything, in the first couple weeks. But it's at the same time totally fucking over the casuals that want to awaken a stone and they have to buy stuff from the store. I mean, they can't even grind for it. At the point where you put in a store that contains an item that's needed to do part of the game that you made, and you can't get it in game and you have to pay for it, now you're forcing people into microtransactions. And like I said, had they just put it up for $60 and it was like Diablo 2, you bought it for $60. Diablo 2 was one of the most popular games that was ever put out. StarCraft 1 was one of the most popular games that was ever put out. Warcraft 3. And all of these games, put out for, $50, $60, somewhere in there. And then after a couple years, the price would drop down to $40 and more people would buy them. And they'd put out expansions for these games, for like $40, $50, and they'd get another few $1 billion. If they kept that model, people would slowly go back to it, I guarantee, because they've been normalized by slow. I believe it was Skyrim with like a horse like saddle that was the first microtransaction, and it didn't help you win. It was just cosmetic. But people being like, oh, I can buy something outside of the game, and then they kept slipping in more and more things that were cosmetic, and then it just normalized the whole process of buying stuff offline or off the game. It's by getting it in-game itself with in-game currency and spending real money from your wallet to make something look exactly how you wanted it to. Or when they got to the point of pay-to-play, it was just pay-to-win. It was just so normalized that people just accepted it. And slowly people have become desensitized to it and just expect it. But I think if they went back to the old model, people would start to wake up and see that microtransactions are draining their wallet by thousands of dollars, and they'd rather just spend $60 one time. The company would still make billions of dollars, and they might get some of their reputation back in the process. Like they took a chance and they went back to the old way that worked fine back then for, 10 plus 20 years. 2 decades that model worked fine, or I guess you could go back to Pawn Atari type days. I mean, so you could say for about 3 decades that model worked fine. And if they went back to that and just sold it on the App Store for $60, then I guarantee, they'd make billions of dollars, they'd slowly get their reputation back, and people would slowly become nostalgic about that, about, oh yeah, I can buy a game without ever having to open my wallet up again after that. And I can be on the same level as everybody because it's completely fair. Instead of playing a game where someone who has a fatter wallet than me is always going to crush me no matter what I do, so there's no sense in me playing. So anyways, that's my rant from today. I really love you guys, Claw Club community. You are the heart and soul of this channel. Every one of you is another claw on the paw that can just swipe through anything that life throws at them. As I said in my Johnny Depp video yesterday, if somebody throws lemons at us, every one of you is a claw, and you are on the paw, and you can just slice that lemon up right into bits into lemonade instantly. And the more we have, the bigger that paw grows, the more claws we have on it, and the more we can claw through life and get to where we want to be. And I love you all for that. Because of my disability, or if you like the content, if you would like to help out, since I can't monetize yet, my Cash App is #GrimClaws, GrimClawz. I would appreciate donations. If you can help, God bless, and if you cannot help, God bless. They all help the channel, and they are all completely appreciated, and I thank every one of you. I read all your comments, so thank you for all the donations I've gotten, and I hope to see you soon. I'll see you on the next video. I love you all, CCC, and I will, like I said, GrimClaws out.